Hi guys, welcome to Joint Insights Unfiltered. Today you with me, the Bushmaster, and
Big G.
yeah, he's the big G.
Yeah, man, I am.
Okay, we're gonna dive right into it. So no much ado, let's get into it.
Let's get right into it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So I want to ask you a question. Why are you gay?
What the? Why are you gay? Oh my goodness, you're just bringing memories, man.
What kind of memories?
What?
What kind of memories are you on about, bro?
Are you surprised?
Yeah, what?
You forgot all those trends going on around.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like the moment you hear why are you gay, you quickly start going to think about, refer to those things.
You got me scared there for a moment.
I'm not.
Anyways.
Yeah. So today we're going to have a little bit chat about childhood experiences. Yeah. I believe everyone have experienced some kind of weird things growing up.
Yep.
It could be in school, being raised in the house, family house and stuff like that.
Yeah, high school crush. Mate.
Yeah. We're going to dive into it and then bring some insightful information to you, And then
we're going to keep it unfiltered.
Unfiltered.
Yeah.
Right, unfiltered,
Raw. No edit. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So what do you have on board for us today?
All right. So first of all, let's talk about school days. How was school days for you?
Fun fact. I never enjoyed school in my life.
Wow. Why is that?
A lot goes into it, man.
What do you mean? When you say school, do you mean the high school or primary?
Growing up, I felt like school was never meant for me.
Okay.
I never had a good moment in school. You meet some kind of people. They always excited to go to school the next morning. Unlike me, fuck it.
Let me tell you. You know what used to piss me off at school is you would go to school for the whole week, and the guy that's been absent for freaking 3 days would come back and still ace everything, be able to answer every question, and you'll be there for the whole week. I was like,
what's going on?
What am I doing wrong? I was like, that used to piss me off. I used to get angry. I was like, no, man, no. I'm gonna try to see if I could answer more questions than that guy, because then when he answers those questions, the teacher's gonna be like, such and such was missing, and he's answering question that, then the rest of the class is gonna look bad. Yeah,
it happens, man. Exactly.
For me, school days was my primary school days was good. I loved it. Yeah, it was all right. Made a lot of friends. I never got beat up in school. Did you? Did you ever get beat up in school?
I would say it's a normal routine, yeah.
Really?
Of course, man.
You got beat? Wow.
You get caned, man. Properly caned.
Like when I said beaten, I don't mean from the teachers. I mean from being bullied or anything.
Being bullied?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, I would say in every school, you have one kind of bully that tries to be, to dominate all the other students. Yeah, there are individuals like that.
Yeah.
And I don't remember experiencing that much, really.
Yeah,
because I'm that kind of person. I get along with pretty much everyone. So
you're the social type.
Well, I can be social, and I can also, stay in my own corner without, interfering into your business.
Okay.
If I'm welcome, I'm good. If I'm not, I know where to keep my distance. That's it.
First. Me, there was a lot of bullies in school, but I was the type that would, if they're bigger than me, I know to keep my distance because I'm not gonna embarrass myself. I've grown with that.
You don't want to get beaten.
I don't want to get beaten, and then the whole school is laughing after me. So I would avoid stuff like, if I know you're bigger than me, then coward live to see it next day. You know?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
What's your favorite subject?
Subject. Really interesting. Just bringing back memories. Well, when we talk about subject, I will say when I was in the primary, subject-wise, the brain wasn't that developed. Everything is still new. It's still learning.
Yeah.
So
I guess we leave that for when we're in high school. But anyways,
yeah. But when you get to high school, that's when you are more conscious about what you're doing, what your interest is, stuff like that. So when I got to high school, that's when I found myself really, really hooked into IT.
IT, okay,
information technology.
Makes sense.
Kind of stuff.
Makes sense.
Aside of that, anything art is something I'm really passionate about.
Okay.
But that's not all. I love languages. It was easy for me to learn languages because I would say because of my background.
But how many languages do you speak?
About 3.
More.
Okay, that's just 3.
So
which is
so there's Ghanaian.
There's no actual language called Ghanaian actually.
Okay. Well, what's the language then?
I speak French.
French, okay.
Yeah. I speak English.
Okay.
I speak Ewe.
Ewe.
Okay. That's my mother tongue.
Okay. Wow. I speak English.
Yeah.
And I speak dialect.
Can you say something in dialect?
Like okay.
Like, how's your day going? Like, ask a question in your dialect.
In my dialect.
Well, go on.
Yeah. It's a bit similar to Jamaican, but it's not patois.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To be fair, when I listen to your way of speaking compared to the Jamaican, I feel like it all have similarities, all the same. It sounds really, really the same.
Yeah.
But the Jamaicans, they twist the tongue more, even more than you like. It's so deep. You get it?
Yeah. Because I mean, they're almost the same. They're almost the same, but they're not like there's differences. Yeah, there's differences in like the variation of the language.
Yeah,
the way it's being spoken. Yeah.
So what's something you can say in your actual dialect that perhaps I've never listened or heard before?
That's interesting. Let me see.
Could be anything, or maybe try saying something, or maybe you send a message to your family, your friends.
Okay, Lukomde.
Lukomde.
Yeah.
Lukomde. What does that mean? Is that English?
That's English.
What the fuck?
Jamaica would say, how would they say it, boy? Seatia. I think so. I'm not sure what. I think it's something like that. Like we would say Lukomde. Which is
are you trying to say maybe let me see if I can translate that in a basic English. Lukomde. Are you trying to say look at where I am, or look at what I'm doing,
like
or
Lukomde as in like
I'm here?
No, as in the laptop.
Yeah.
Look, it's here. And then we say
what?
Yeah, so I'll be like, so I would say Bushmaster.
Yeah.
You see me laptop? And me go say, look there.
Look. Whoa. I'm lost.
Yeah.
Whoa, look there.
So you go say, you see me laptop? And me go say, look there. Look it right there, so man.
Wow.
Yeah, but it comes off. It's similar to patois.
So do you know any patois line?
Wagwan is a Jamaican thing, but we say it as well.
Something like Bumbukla.
No, we don't say Bumbukla.
It's Jamaican.
It's a Jamaican thing.
Ah.
You know, Fun fact, do you know where bumbleclad comes from?
Nah. Speak the truth, man.
So, for those who don't know, bumbleclad, back in the history, like blood clot, bumbleclad, and rasclad. So blood clot was the clot that the ladies used back then for their period. That's why they said.
Whoa.
That's why it's called blood clot. And then bumbo clot is the clot that they use to work their bum. So that's why it's called bumbo clot.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. I just recently found out that. So for you guys who don't know, now you know.
It means we've got to stop using the.
I mean,
the
you
word,
don't have
actually.
to, like, they've taken it upon themselves and using it everywhere as like it's a bad word.
Yeah, but now it's like a trend.
It's a trend.
Everyone use it without knowing what it actually means.
Yeah,
that happens a lot. That happens a lot.
Yep, it does. So yeah, back to what we were talking about.
Perhaps people like me to speak some of my language.
Yeah.
Because
sir.
they might be curious to know what it sounds like to speak
Okay,
French.
so I would ask you. I want you to say it in your language. So I would say, Big Bushmaster, have you seen my laptop?
You wanted to hear my
and then I
tongue?
want you to reply and say, here it is, or something. I don't know how you would say it.
Yeah, you can ask me in English, then I'll
Say,
tell you in my.
Okay, Bushmaster, have you seen my laptop?
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Here it is.
Here it is.
Yeah. That's here. Okay.
That's my mother tongue.
Okay.
But in French, it's gonna be different. Le voici.
Le voici.
Le voici.
Okay.
Laptop.
So, all right. That's like the first one. The first one was kind of a bit
Easy. Yeah.
Here it is. Yeah. That
it's like the thing is here.
Here, and then you add
Here
the
it
key on
is.
it. Then you add the key on it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It sounds weird. It might sound weird to you, but that's what beautiful about languages. Yeah. I'm always passionate about knowing how people communicate in their various languages. It's
Well,
so
I mean,
fascinating.
you've been around Caribbean people for a long time, so I know you probably like understand.
Now I do pick it up. Like first, I have a hard time in understanding. I have to keep asking, repeat it again, over, until I grasp what they actually.
Or you don't
say.
understand when I speak, though.
Very easy for me now.
Yeah, because the first time when I came here it was very difficult for me. Obviously, I've learned English in school, but like you don't talk it. We didn't speak standard English on a daily basis. We mostly spoke dialect, right? Yeah. So like coming to the UK and then speaking standard English was a bit hard for me in terms of I have a bit of a tight tongue, so like. It was really hard for me to pronounce certain words, even though I know them, but pronouncing them, I have a bit of my tongue is a bit tight, so like it was very difficult for me. But now I'm gradually getting a hang of it.
Yeah. Can be a hassle, honestly.
Yeah. So like, what was the funniest thing that ever happened to you in school?
Bro, funny things happen. Funny thing.
I've got a really good one, but let you speak first.
Funny things. Well, would I say funny thing?
Like funny or something that made you felt embarrassed or something like that?
Bro, I could remember one day, back home, leftover is a very good thing for us. Like we eat leftover food before you go to school sometimes,
Yeah, we do that as well. Like heat it up in the morning and eat it.
Yeah. If you grew up in a place where sometimes parents don't give you a feeding fee, like pocket money to spend in school, they ask you to eat whatever was left over so you fill your tummy before going to school.
Right.
Exactly. And the thing is, growing up, when you take leftover food, food back home is heavy. We eat heavy. It's not compared to here because the sun is coating you really hard.
Right.
like you need heavy food to stay active. If not, you're gonna feel really weak.
Yeah.
So imagine I loaded my tummy that day. When I got to school, I don't know what happened. The teacher was teaching. I dropped I was just dreaming. The one thing I heard was it wasn't a slap. I would say palm slap on my back, heavy one.
Really?
Seriously.
What the?
Yeah, man. I was gone, man. I was gone. It happened.
So that niggeritis took you over then?
Seriously, the food was too much.
So you fell straight to sleep. That usually happens.
Like the teaching, you sat well, trying to pay attention, but you don't realize when you actually was gone. Like you be gone. Because the body is like fighting that food.
Yeah.
You need to.
That usually happens.
Trying to doze enough.
So you literally got hit in your back.
Seriously, I got it.
Wow.
Yeah. And everyone laughed, actually. When I woke up, like, what's happening? Like, I was in a shock. What did I do wrong? Because the one thing I remembered is, 1 minute earlier, I was actually
watching the
TV. Like, listening. Next minute was bash. You get it?
Yeah.
What about you? What crazy thing happened to you?
Where I was going to primary school. Well, I'm speaking about primary school. Yeah. Excuse me. So where the primary school was, it was like probably like a 5 minutes walk.
Okay.
To go home. So I used to go home every day for lunch. So one day I ate lunch, but I decided that I wanted something extra. So I decided to do some toast bread and peanut butter. So while I was pasting the bread with the peanut butter, and I ate it, went back. Bro, I literally washed my mouth and everything. I washed my face, but I don't know what happened. But when I went to school, I went back to school before because lunch was from 12 and then it would go until 1. So I went back to school about 1:30 because it was like 5 minutes from where I live, and I'm a fast eater. So I went back.
Yeah.
When I went back to school, I heard someone said, "Come on, that shit on his mouth." I was looking. So look, when I went to the bathroom, there was literally freaking peanut butter on my lip. I was ashamed. Bro.
Whoa.
I felt like
so they were mocking at you.
Yeah, they were mocking. They said, and they wasn't speaking in standard English. They were speaking in dialect. So I was like, why? Gamal got shit on him out. Why? I'm telling you,
I don't understand, but it sounds really funny.
I felt that.
Wow.
I felt that because, like, I don't know. I literally went to the bathroom because I brushed my mouth like morning, lunch, and evening. Because I think you're supposed to wash your mouth 3 times daily. Yeah, so I had that routine growing up, but I don't know. I even washed my face. I don't know how that peanut butter got stuck on my side lip.
It happens. You never know when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back to what it was when I asked you your favorite subject. My favorite subject was English B.
English B. Which one is English B?
Like English B is like English A? English A. And then we have English B. English B is literature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the A is more like the grammar side of it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You don't have that?
Well, actually, I had literature as a subject on its own.
Okay.
And then had English as a subject on its own. They're totally 2 different things. Yeah. So you had to study Shakespeare.
Right, like that's right. That's what we call it, English B. Okay. But it's actually literature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, but that was my favorite subject. But that was in high school. You know, while doing CXC, but it's not CXC now. They call it something else. But back in my day, when I was doing CXC, I didn't even study for literature because all you do is read and write stuff and all that. It's just poems and reading books.
reading,
Yeah.
trying to relate to the story.
Yeah, and all that. So
And
I didn't even study for that, and I passed it. So it was easy. That's one of my favorite. I love. I had
what about
a love
maths?
for maths. I had a love for maths in primary school because it was easy. Yeah. But when I hit secondary school, Form 1, aced it, loved it.
Whoa.
Form 2, aced it, loved it. Form 3, I don't know what happened.
Wow.
It's like the maths was not mathsing. It was either me or the teacher, I don't know. But maths is my least favorite subject.
I think back then the way they used to try kind of explain the
Yeah.
mathematic concept to us was kind of tricky compared to nowadays. Even if I think learning mathematics today is so easy compared to back then.
Yeah.
Because you have so many tools around you
Yeah, like
to understand.
they have SE, you know what SP is? SPA.
SP, no. What is that?
So like for CXC, you would do the maths, but then you would do like this thing called SBA.
When did you complete like senior high school?
Form 5.
I mean, which year?
Which year?
Like
2015?
2015.
Yeah.
That's a long time, man.
A long time ago. Very, 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 very long time ago.
Well, mine was around 2017. May.
Why? 2017.
Yeah.
You repeated or something?
I didn't repeat.
So why you're older than me? So why you finished school in 2017?
Interesting. Good question.
Yeah.
You understand I speak French and I speak English. I went to school from primary in a French-speaking school to college. And I have to change school to an English school. I have to start all over again.
Why
From
did you?
college, first, because obviously the language differences, everything is different.
Oh
You
wait,
get
wait. So
steady literature.
you're including college as well?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't go to college. I went straight into the work field.
So imagine that kind of affected the years, but eventually it's all worked for good.
Yeah.
Because now I'm reaping the benefit of being a bilingual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's okay. It was tough, but it's fine. It is what it is.
So
Nothing
you
good
you
really
had
comes
because
easy.
initially you would have finished school in 2014, innit?
Yeah,
2014 or 13.
yeah, around
Yeah.
2013.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you had to do poof.
yeah, it's
Wow. you had to do an extra 3 years. Like
Yeah.
2013, 14, 15. That's 4 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nearly. And it's kind of very challenging because imagine you going to school, you know how to do count 1, 2, 3, 4 in French up to thousands, and now you go to an English speaking
So you had
country,
to-
you have to learn everything in English instead of literature in English, doing everything.
So
in
you had to
English.
learn. So you didn't speak English at that time.
No, really. You could pick it up one by one, but not as a
So
fluent English
that
speaker.
was in Ghana.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I didn't even know like they speak French in Ghana.
They do speak in some part of Ghana. No, actually, Ghana is big. Yeah, but when you come from the Volta region, which is close to the French-speaking country Togo, like the people around there, they kind of migrated somehow from Togo to Ghana. So it's kind of a mixed people. So you meet a lot of people around that region speak either French, English, even actual Chi, Ashanti, or other languages around. The longer you've left it alone, you haven't gone back to it.
Yeah.
You tend to forget. Because I remember to spend so much time in the library growing up, studying, reading Spanish, Portuguese, and grew up having a lot of Portuguese friends. Because I used to do a lot of different kind of sports like taekwondo, capoeira,
Right.
skating.
So you did all that in school?
Not in school, like it's something I do aside of from school.
In Ghana?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been very, very active. Like capoeira was my favorite.
What is
aside of-
capoeira?
Capoeira is kind of a dance.
Oh.
It's originated from the slaves that have been taken to America, you know,
Okay.
to work in the sugarcane plantations. So when you track back to the root, capoeira originated from African slaves who live in Brazil.
Right.
Yeah. So it's kind of a dance to cheer themselves up, and it's a form of a dance, sports, and like a combat.
Right.
So it's a mix of all those kind of things. So it comes with people cheering you up, singing for you, whilst two people will be doing the movement. So it's really, really good. Very good sports. Like it brings people together.
Yeah. I mean, I think dance in general brings people together.
Yeah, dancing, music,
Yeah.
food.
Oh, definitely.
Those three things,
Most definitely.
they're like universal languages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everywhere you go, you can relate to people
Yeah.
on those bases.
I mean, they say that a way to a man's heart is his stomach, innit? So, yeah, that's what they said. So I guess the ladies have been taking advantage of that for a very long
exactly.
time.
That's what I wanted to say. I'm like, bro, men don't use that statement.
Yeah, they
it's
don't.
mostly the women who tend to use that kind of statement, like the way to a man's heart is, you know, the tummy. Well,
Yeah.
it used to be, but not anymore.
You don't think so?
Not anymore.
But would you be with someone that doesn't know how to cook? I already know your answer to that. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it, because I know you're gonna want.
me.
I know you're gonna want your
tell me.
fufu and all that. She has to know how to do all those stuff.
The finish.
Unless she knows to cook, but she's not like in tune to your culture, and then you teach her and then she masters it even better than you, then I understand. But I know you're not. Imagine being with someone. I'm not bashing anyone that doesn't know how to cook, yeah? Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying imagine you being with someone that doesn't know how to simply do like
Basic stuff.
like what should I say is basic? Porridge, or even doing an omelette, scrambling some eggs. Imagine, you know,
It depends.
Depends, yeah.
It depends on the kind of women you actually courting, or maybe you.
But would you say like that is like a key point for you? Like, look, when you're looking for someone, like.
Well, to me, look, this is just out of the topic we're talking
it's
about.
out of the topic.
But I'm gonna mention it. I understand that everyone has his own point of interest.
Right.
What you look into someone to get that kind of attraction, you know. I think it's different with everyone. It varies. But with me, so long as I can use my hand and cook something for myself that I love, I don't give a about whoever is there.
All right.
Get it?
All right. Fair. Yeah. Parental traditions and.
Yeah. Some of the things I would say growing up, tradition. I would say tradition because values that have shaped who you are today.
Yeah.
Growing up. Yeah. Have you been through something that made you to who you are today?
I would say I would always give props to my grandmother, because obviously my mom left at an early age and she migrated to the UK. So me living with her, I've learned a lot. Yeah. And I give thanks to that, because I use them in everyday life. Like, I mean, like things like she would have instilled stuff in me, like, don't get accustomed going to people's place. Mm-hmm. Your home is your home. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know? And
good advice.
That's a good advice. As up to this day, I still use that advice up to this day. And she would tell me things like, don't watch what people have.
Yeah.
Because you never know what they did to get it. And that one is a very meaning, like a very good one to use in your everyday life, because that's how you end up doing stuff like stealing, doing wrong things to get stuff.
So because you wanna be like
You wanna be like, or
them.
or your red eye, you see things and you want it, and you can't get it, so you don't go do all sort of
all
stuff.
kind of thing to acquire. Yeah.
Mate, I'm telling you, I've learned lots of stuff from my grandmother. So big up to you. Love. Yeah.
Is she watching?
Yeah, she's watching. Yeah, so
Grandmommy.
yeah, what about you?
Good job.
What about you?
Wow. Growing up, I would say I've self-taught myself so many things.
Really?
Yeah. But coming from a family where the father is so strict, and you can do better. You have to listen and go according to what rule or order has been given to you. Else, you face the consequences at the end of the day. Yeah, you get cane. Growing up, you get cane, like proper cane. I say cane.
Right, cane.
Sometimes it could be spanking the belt, like. Have you experienced that before?
Yeah, mate. Even though I was a chill child, I did a lot of stuff too, because I I did a lot of dumb stuff when I was like younger, like disciplining. I got a lot of that. I got a lot of that. Like I remember the days like growing up. You see, when I was in high school, school would finish at 3.
Yeah.
By 30, like 3:30, I would have to be in that house.
Wow.
And 3:30, I was like, wow. Like, so obviously, like farm 2, I'm chatting to this girl, yes, so I'm feeling good, yes, so I'm out late. It's minutes to 4.
Yeah.
I'm popping in at like probably like some minutes after 4. Bro, you see the pot spoon? I got some proper licking, man. Yeah. But for me, I was say like, I was, like as a boy, you feel like you're getting older, and you feel like a big man. Yeah.
Especially when you enter you are in your teenage years. Yeah, it can happen. You have that feeling of best, everything you're doing, and you have that feeling of parents stepping over your boundaries, trying to tell you of everything you do. They try to be against you. That's how it feels like. But
did you ever answer back your parents?
I did.
Really?
I did.
What did you get?
Oh my goodness. You get beaten, man,
bro,
because you can't speak to that's one thing that differentiate us a little bit from the Western world.
I'm telling you,
because you can never speak back to an elderly.
The parents of today need, like, I won't say like, because in the Caribbean as well, I think the parenting it's evolving as well, and I think it's evolving for the worse.
Okay.
Because the things I've seen happen in the Caribbean
nowadays,
we couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, we couldn't do that. Like, the things that grandchildren, like great grandchildren, are getting away with now, we couldn't get away with that. And like
everywhere now,
bro, I was on this train the other day, going about my business, and this girl was there. She was sitting with her dad. She's like, mind you, she's the way she looks like she just started high school.
Okay, still young.
Right, still young. It's like she's very young, and she has a phone, and her dad was looking into her phone. And if you see the bad eye, the eye that she watched her dad, me myself felt away with that eye. I was like, wow. I was like, wow, I felt that. And he felt away, and he was, bro, I couldn't do that. I was not, you see, if I had a phone, Bookie showed that phone was being searched to see what I was what I was doing, like Form 1.
Parents
Yeah,
are gonna do that. You
parent.
have no say.
Yeah, I have no say.
Like you can. Well, it is what it is. Nowadays,
Yeah.
it's all the way around. But you know, I've been saying the kind of education I got growing up, it was the
Or what
it
you
was
say,
tough.
education or discipline?
Discipline, education, everything. You know, if I mean education, not something from school, home education, like
Yeah.
from the community, from parent families and friends. You know, it wasn't the best, I would say, but it shaped me to be who I am today.
Yeah, that's true. And like nowadays, the modern world now, like they don't believe in like hitting their kids. And I mean, there's a difference between abuse, like how should I say it? I think there's a difference between you hitting your child to
Discipline someone,
discipline and then
take advantage,
taking advantage and then abusing them. Yeah, because the discipline I got, maybe or not, let me not say maybe. If I didn't get them, I think I probably would have been worse. Yeah, and I got a lot of licking, but the things that I did growing up now, at that time when I was getting them, I was like saying, oh, I didn't deserve them. But me growing up now, and with the maturity and understanding, I'm like, wow, I'm grateful for those lickings.
Exactly. That's when you realize, when you get into that old age, you look back, then you start realizing, wait, if parent or if people were not to tell you of them, by now you'd have, man.
Yeah, I've seen children telling their parents to shut up. You think I couldn't say that?
You can't do that.
I couldn't say that. I would be 6 feet
under.
Brother, I would have been 6 feet underground right now. Me answer my mother and my grandmother and my aunties them and tell them shut up. Me now I hear nothing. No, sir.
Or even say, don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me.
What?
Don't touch me.
That's you done for.
Nah, sir, me,
you know?
Me done with 6 feet.
You cook.
Underground. Done.
You cook.
Me cook.
Seriously.
Pressure cook. Everything.
Because
that not been happen.
It wouldn't be easy for you that,
no.
You know, for the rest of the week, you feel like, no way, the world is against you. That's how it felt like.
I remember one time my grandmother sent me to shop, and that was when I was like I can't remember what age I was, but I was really young. And they had carnival, but obviously I couldn't go because my grandmother was a Christian. Yeah. So she always told me, like, when you reach the age, I would allow you to do whatever you want, because at that time I've already instilled what I need to instill in you, and you're adult now, so you have to make your own life choices. So me hearing that, I'm saying, no, I'm not gonna wait for that. So they were having carnival, so I decided this is my moment. I am going to carnival. So she sent me to shop. She wanted me to go to the shop. So I was saying, okay, I'm gonna plan this. I already had my plan now. I said I'm gonna wait until it's time
for carnival. Then
because they had the Juve, and then they had Juve, and then they have the evening the evening session. So I said, okay, I'm going to that evening session. So she wanted me to go to a shop, and I think it was a Saturday leading into Sunday. Okay. So I decided to go to shop around 7ish, and then I had one of my friends hold the bag for me, and I went straight down into to the carnival. I never came home until 12. I thought I was gonna get a licking, but nah.
Wow.
And if you see me, I was banding up my face as well because I didn't want anyone to see me. Yeah, the things. But I got a proper sermon on that though. Yeah.
Yeah, things like that. They eventually build you up. They make you become better version of yourself. And when you get into that stage where you start making life decisions, like life-changing decision, then you become a fully adult.
True.
Yeah.
Yes, so the last thing I want us to talk about, like technology now and then as a kid growing up. Back then, I used to text. You used to have to text.
Keypads.
Yeah. You had to text like button phones and all that, and then eventually the BlackBerry came in, and then the Curve.
Yeah.
I think it's a Curve. BlackBerry Curve is the Curve.
I remember the first ever mobile phone I've used was bro. I had a very troubling childhood, you know. You know, I remember I was so much interested in buying a Nokia. Those time they called it Symbian.
Yeah.
Like another version of like Android, but it's not Android. The system operating system was called like Symbian. And you find them in those Nokia N97, whatever.
You mean the blue ones?
No. The actual Nokias, those that can take photos, play videos, and then you can play games.
I didn't know they have a Nokia that you can.
Whoa.
Was it like a button phone?
They were keypad, but more advanced.
That they had touchscreen as well.
Yes, some do have touchscreen.
Oh yeah. Then.
Yeah,
I thought you was talking about like the old Nokia phones.
I didn't get a chance to use those.
You know the ones I'm talking about. The ones that like. It's.
I get what you mean. Those keypad ones.
The key button ones, like with the snake and leather arm, bro.
Some of them had torchlight.
Yeah, some of them had torchlight. I think like those were one of the best phones that that ever came out. Like the phone was indestructible. Yeah, but back to what you were saying.
Yeah, I think that was I would say that kind of phone was the phone I was into. And the funny thing that happened is I didn't know much about stuff like that.
Right.
And when I finally saved up enough money to get the phone I wanted to buy, when I got to the market, bro, I was duped so badly.
Right.
You know what I brought home?
What?
Soap.
Really? Wow.
They did everything. They gave me the phone. I actually pressed it, seen everything.
Right.
I don't know how.
So wait. So you went to buy the phone.
Yeah.
And they gave you freaking soap.
Yeah, bro. I came back home with soap, man.
How does that happen?
Yeah, that's how bad it could be. I was very young. And
so were you buying the phone for yourself?
Yeah, for myself. That was my first ever phone I was buying.
But did you not go to the phone place itself?
Yeah, man. You go to the phone market.
Wow.
Yeah, it can be really tricky. I came home with the soap, and everything was put in the box. Like,
so did you go back to the?
I went back. They were nowhere to be found. Okay, where to be found?
Oh my god!
It's a market. Everyone is, it's a busy market. Everyone is selling.
Wow. So
they just lay phones on the table. You go through whichever you like. Someone's gonna talk to you, take you through this, that. This is the fun you can do. You happy with it?
So did you not see them packaging the phone and everything?
Bro, you don't know when it happens. You're very sure you're being handed over what you actually seen.
Yeah.
But by the time you get home, in soap. Wow. I'm telling you, if you meet any Ghanaian or anybody, ask them that similar situation. Ask them.
So what did your parents say about it?
Nobody said anything. I learned my lesson, bro.
Oh my god.
If you tell your parent, you're gonna get beaten for that.
But didn't they ask you for the phone?
No, it was my own money.
Oh shit. So they didn't know about that.
I shut my mouth. So if you voice it out, they're gonna punish you for that, for not telling them
that you're gonna buy a phone.
You're gonna buy a phone. Secondly, you spend the whole money, you brought soap home. Now you're calling them to step in for you. That's being disrespectful, bro.
I remember. So my mom sent me this phone here when I was in formal, this Sony Ericsson. But it was like a new model Sony Ericsson. Like you can use. That time they didn't have Bluetooth, so they had like what is it like? Some kind of Reddit, not Reddit, Lord. It had before Bluetooth. there was this red beam or something. I can't remember what it was.
Okay, there was infrared.
Infrared, yes,
So
infrared, yeah. Right, so infrared, right. So it had infrared and everything. It had music. It was nice. I loved it. So one day, my grandmother told me do not walk to the phone at school because I didn't get it to go to school, but I decided to take it from my grandmother and walk with it at school. And I took it out and then I put it back in my bag and I went to the bathroom and I came back. When I came back, the phone was gone.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. That was like one of the worst day of my life because then I realized, boy, sometimes you just have to listen, innit?
Yeah.
I didn't even get the phone for 2 weeks good. And you know the person, I spoke to that person. I knew who stole the phone, but I just couldn't like prove it. And I spoke to that person right up to farm tree. I had that person in my mind for so long. I was like, imagine you stole my phone and you were literally talking to me every freaking day.
Yeah.
Like, wow, these people.
Yeah, that made me to remember a saying. Like there is an artist back home. He sings, but most of his songs are kind of moral lessons, messages he sends out to the world. So I remember he mentioned about your own very enemy is not really far away from you. Is that person you eating in the same bowl every day.
Yeah.
Who's gonna kill you? Who's gonna destroy you? So imagine what you just said. Your friend, you've been speaking with the person for a whole lot not long ago.
Yeah.
But he never mentioned he took your phone.
Never.
But you knew.
I knew it was him.
See?
I knew it was him.
Yeah.
You know what he did? He sold it. Boy, those guys were swifter than swift back, you know. I just want to read this. So on Reddit, someone said, what was the worst punishment you received as a child?
Yeah.
This person commented and said, on a Saturday morning, my brother and I were fighting in the living room and woke my dad up.
Okay.
My dad pulled out 2 lawn chairs and sat me in front of the yard and my brother in the backyard under their respective trees. And then we sat the whole day.
Yeah.
He came out and gave us lunch, then dinner, and I think we got 2 bathroom breaks. But we sat there the entire day watching our friends ride by on bicycles and having fun without us.
Wow.
The next morning, my brother and I started fighting again, and I stopped and stepped back and said, "Stop, we can't fight. That will put us in the yard again." It felt so cruel, but at the time, but in hindsight, it was very effective punishment.
Wow.
Effective punishment. Yeah, I was like, wow. Imagine sitting down for the whole day.
But then you can't do nothing to retaliate back. But today, a child will never do that. And people will call you as a bad father or a bad parenting.
But that's dangerous though. If the sun is hot, like but I mean it is what it is, like
it is what it is.
Yeah, that's a proper good
grounding.
Yeah.
Or is someone saying something else again?
Yeah, someone said I can think of four off the top of my head. I've been grounded from my clothes.
What?
I don't
what did he do?
I've been grounded from my clothes. Come home from school, stripped down to underwear, clothes locked up until school the next day.
Fuck?
For a couple of weeks at times, I used to have to sign out of the house, name, date, friends, contact info for business, businesses we plan to be in, parents' contact, time in and out, signed and approved by stepdad. Wow. That's
sick.
rough.
Whoa.
I've had to pick Christmas presents out to be returned. They even made me open them first. I've lost birthdays, and Halloween. Got left behind while they went on vacation. But the worst was the 10 weeks of Solitary confinement. I got 4. Getting an F on my report card
What
in
the
6th grade. All I had was school. And then 4 walls when I got home. With Jesus Christ.
Wow.
That's rough. That's abuse. That's abuse. That's like literally. That's abuse. Like, no, straight off. That's abuse. That's abuse. Okay, this one is sick.
What does it say?
This one is sick. Like, multiple times my mother burned my hand on the stove burner just for making her angry. I was 2 at that time.
Wait. Repeat that again.
Multiple times my mother burnt my hand on the stove burner.
Wait.
Just for making her angry. I was 2 at the time. She never apologized or thought she was in the wrong. What could a 2-year-old do to deserve that?
A 2-year-old?
Wow.
This is criminal. Fucking hell. I think that's too extreme. Like, it's extreme punishment. Why would you burn a 2-year-old hands in the burner?
Wow, that's
or on the stove, sorry.
On the stove burner.
Jesus, that's crazy. Not good. Not good at all.
This is some abuse here, man. This is some abuse stuff here. But
yeah,
all right. We've come to the end of our childhood.
Stories and experiences. And stuff like that. Yeah.
All right, we see you back on the next episode of Joint Insights Unfiltered.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, man.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to your friends.
Yeah, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yeah.